Hey there everyone, Luke here, and we are back. We're doing Mission Yozakura family reviews once again. Now before I get into the review, just want to say one quick thing. Go and get yourself a pot of greed mug. Although, what does it even do? Like, seriously, can someone please figure out what pot of greed actually does? Because, look at it. So cheeky, so mysterious, like, who knows, who knows. Okay, all jokes aside, I just wanted to get that joke out of the way. Now, in all seriousness, before we get into the review, just want to make a quick announcement, is that got my next show coming up. Well, I say coming up, we don't actually know when it's actually being performed, but yeah, we're starting work on William Shakespeare's The Tempest, where I am playing the main bad guy, Antonio, which is something I'm really excited about, looking forward to it. Don't know when it's going to come or anything like that, but anybody who's in Manchester, it's coming. And it's not going to be like the dragons in Game of Thrones. It is actually going to come, and hope it's going to be good, so people who come and see it will really enjoy it. But for now, we need to talk about a different kind of bad guy. Okay, so this will be chapter 143, titled Separation. Now, with a title like that, obviously it's going to be about all the family coming together. Just in Momo's way. Yeah, so obviously this is referencing what is going to happen, the fact that Shinzo and Futaba are going to be separated from the siblings for a while, and obviously enacting Momo's next plan of trying to get all the siblings back under his control so that they can be one happy family by basically mind controlling them. I mean, they say it's not really mind control, but let's be honest, it is mind control at this point. So anyway, the chapter starts off pretty much from the end of the last chapter, where we have Shinzo and Futaba both staring down Koichiro, Kai, Alex, and Tayo as they're all just being like, okay, what the hell is going on here? And they're saying, okay, if we're gonna rescue Futaba and Shinzo, we have to give it all. So basically, like I said last time, doesn't matter if there are siblings. If we're gonna have to get them, then we're gonna have to take them on seriously to wear them down, so that we can actually get them back on our side. As we see Koichiro basically being himself and being like, oh yeah, I've got this. I've got a hold of this. As we see him create a sphere of his steel spider that just envelops Futaba, and she's just there like, okay, I am trapped now. I wasn't expecting this, but at the same time I was kind of expecting this, as he goes on and says, we'll start by taking that man out as quickly as possible, so just you wait there, Futaba. So he's basically like, yeah, we're going to take out Momo, and then we're going to come back and get you under our control, but until then, you're going to wait in this sphere of steel spider, so that you cannot interfere with what we're going to do, and you're in sole need of further training if you allow him to take control of you this season. So basically, yeah, Koichiro's like, yeah, if you really were like this easy to take control of Futaba, you seriously need more training in order to get yourself beefed up more, so that you don't get into this situation again. Which goes to show of just how resilient Koichiro is to not just any spy techniques, but also immune to like Momo's schemes and everything. Because I was confused last time of why Koichiro wasn't the one being taken control, and we actually do get an answer pretty much here. But I think Momo was kind of thinking like, okay, yeah, Koichiro, he's not going to fall for any of this. He's going to figure out quite easily, like, oh, okay, there is something going on here, and yeah, Momo was probably like, yeah, best not risk it with Koichiro at this moment in time. Now something Futaba says here just leaves me scratching my head, where she says, quit your muttering, no one's listening, not that I get what you're saying anyway, I'm still me. Okay, when was Koichiro muttering? No, seriously, that is legitimately what I'm wondering here, because does it sound like he's going like, you're in a sort of, there's no further training if you allow me to take control of you this easily. Like, seriously, that's not muttering, Futaba. Like what Creature's saying here is not muttering. He's basically saying it out loud, unless he's doing it like really discreet. Like you're in sore need of further training if you're allowed. Like if you say it more like that, then I can honestly believe then that yeah, he's probably muttering. But it's quite interesting the fact that she says I'm still me, which I guess means that it's not really mind control, even though it kind of technically is. So they seem to be in a state of like, okay, we are in control of our bodies here. We are aware physically and mentally of what is going on here. It's just the fact that we cannot go against what Momo is doing to we cannot go against Momo at this moment in time. So yeah, we're still us. We're just your enemy now, Creature. We're your enemy now, Tayo, and pretty soon you guys are going to be part of as well. Well, I say Creature will probably not get taken over because he's that strong and he's that resilient. But I can see like Keigo getting taken over. I can see Shion and Nanano and possibly Mutsumi. That is something that I am very much like, oh shit, Momo might do something here. Momo might do something here that if he does, then he will overtake Shao Tucker in terms of worst dads. But anyway, Futaba goes on and says like, oh, this isn't nearly enough to stop me. You should know better than anyone else. Again, great retort from Futaba there, of just Kiricho being all smug of like, you're in need of further training if you allow him to control you this easily, and I'm gonna trap you easy as possible. And Futaba's just like, oh, you really think this is gonna trap me, Kiricho? You should know better than anyone else that this is not really gonna trap me. So you better come at me for real. As she just uses her kinetic energy abilities to morph the steel spider into like a javelin that she just throws at Kiricho. And Kiricho, again, I can see why people are starting to like him in the fandom of just like, he's just a calm, cool, collective guy. Never lets anything faze him all that much, and he's just like, oh, this javelin coming at me. No problem, I'll just use another wave of spider thread to just block it. So that's what he does. Like, what he does is like, he taps onto this javelin thing that's coming at him, and it immediately disintegrate. Okay, it doesn't form like a steel spider shield. It immediately, it's just like, he sees the steel spider javelin coming to him, and then he just touches it, and it's just like around him, like just expands around him, and it doesn't affect him or Shuen or Kai at all. It just basically it just basically goes around them and just makes the floor around them just crumble into dust. So it's just like just all around them. So yeah, I can see why people may start to like Kiricho and the fandom of, again, he's just the one character in the series that no matter what the situation is just there like, I'm the cool, calm and collective one, but I'm also the creepy one right now. And it's funny because we actually do get references to the fact that yeah, he is creepy in this chapter, which is quite a bit of nice character development of him, in the sense that yeah, he knows he's a creep, but at the same time he feels like he has to be a creep because yeah, it allows him to motivate himself to get stronger, as well as get the family more stronger, something like that, in his own twisted sense of yeah, that makes sense in his mind. What am I kidding? Nothing makes sense in Kiricho's mind, because he's Kiricho. But at the same time, he's not someone who knows everything. So he's like concerned, like, okay, Kai, can you decree anything? Is anything wrong with Futaba's personality? Is it true? Is she still Futaba herself? And Kai confirms this, like, yeah, there's no inconsistencies with her actions or personality, and there isn't any standard variety of hypnosis. So yeah, in their minds, yeah, this is not mind control, but let's be honest, it is pretty much mind control. Well, it's more like, I would say, body control then, like body and mental control. I guess that's the way you can put it, as they explain that the mini Shukura bones were probably decoys. He baited those two in order to protect the others. So he was Momo was probably thinking like, okay, so if I create these decoys, because we soon find out that they're not actually decoys, but it's like, okay, if I create this elaborate plan where they think like, oh, these are going to be decoys and they're obviously going to go and protect the people around them that are going to be that are going to be under attack from these things, then that will give me the opportunity to sort of like the use something that he infects them with what was used on the other spies, and it was more powerful by some orders of magnitude. So it's like these little creatures that are just clamping onto their bodies. Like, I guess it's in sort of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or something that's like, okay, you're evil now. You're still you, but you are an evil. But you are going to follow Momo's orders to the letter. And if that means attacking your family, then that means attacking your family. So I guess that's kind of what's going on here. Like, you still have your sense of conscious of who you are. It's just the fact that, yeah, Momo's your master now, and you have to obey him to the letter. After Kai has explained all of this creature, it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, so all we have to do is just take off this thing. Oh no, you know what this is reminding me of? Doc Ock in the Spider-Man films, how his inhibitor chip, where that got destroyed, it was basically like the arms were in control of what he was saying. Like, he was still himself, it's just like he was under the influence of the mechanical arms that had gained artificial sapience and were just basically telling him to do horrible, evil stuff. This is kind of the same thing here, except these things are alive and not like, oh, they activate when you destroy them. So yeah, I knew I'd seen this from somewhere. So yeah, it's pretty much like okay, even though they have the same conscience and everything, and they're still Shinzo and Futaba, it's just like Momo is the one who's dishing out the orders, and it's kind of like the more of being under puppetry work rather than just straight mind control, of the sense like, yeah. We know we're our own persons, but now Momo's our master, father, whatever, and we can't go against him, because I assume like, because Momo now at this point is establishing that, yeah, he is stronger than Futaba and Shinzo, and at some point he may become stronger than Kiricho, to the point that he can take control of Kiricho at that point, and get him under his influence of just being like, I will obey you, father, to the letter. But Kiricho's like, okay, so all we need to do is remove these whatever they are from them, and then it'll be nice and simple. It'll be wrapped up. Yeah, easier said than done, Kiricho. You're dealing with Momo here, the master of escaping by the skin of his teeth. Which, again, some people might seem like, oh, this is getting too ridiculous. Momo is untouchable. He's someone who's always escaping. He's doing the ice level of escapes here. But personally, I'm liking this because I feel like Momo, the fact that he's being built up to be like, okay, he's the next big antagonist after Tsubumi, so it makes sense that, yeah, he wouldn't be captured right here, and again, it's making me think like, yeah, this series is going to go on for more longer than people actually anticipate. Although I could be wrong. We're gonna wait and see. I'm giving it, I want to give it at least 4 more years. I know that might be stretching it a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, Momo just establishing just how resilient and how relentless he is, and how difficult it is to be taking this son of a bitch down. So yeah, continuing on, Kiricho, as I alluded to, yeah, we're getting to the point where it's like, yeah, I know I'm the creep, but I don't care, because we're all family here, so I'm still going to bring you back either way, Futaba. Because he says, besides, looking at that flashy black hair of yours irritates me. The Futaba I know looks best with the hair that is pure, as white as fresh as fallen snow. You will change it back now. You know what? Even though he is a creep, yeah, black hair really doesn't suit Futaba. Yeah, she is a white-haired girl through and through. Okay, white-haired, what? You know what? Let's get out. There's like Futaba. Yeah, it does sound really creepy. But yeah, what Futaba says here, it's like, yeah, you're not really a kid. Like, okay, this is let's just bail on this. As yeah, Karicho's like, oh yeah, yeah, you can call me creepy all you want, Fruitspa, but that's not going to be stopping me from expressing my love for you. After all, oh my god, Karicho, you may hate your father, but what you've just said there about that won't stop me from expressing my love for you. After all, well from oh my god, oh my god. Please don't tell me Karicho's under Momo's mind at this point, because if he is, like, oh my god, because that is literally what Momo would say. What Karicho's just said, that, like, yeah, it may be fitting into Karicho's character for him to say something like that, but at the same time, like, oh my god, that is definitely a Momo line. But seriously, please do not be on the Momo's mind, Karicho. You're better than him. Like, you are, like, again, I've been saying this, it is something when the creepiest character in the series is finding you to be the more disturbing person. Like, and since Karicho has said that line, it's like, I think we need to prepare for the worst here, guys. But I digress. Karicho says, like, oh, you're my family. As he tries to trap Futaba in this, like, box of steel spider that he creates, like this square, but Futaba just immediately. Oh no, wait, no, it's not Fruitspa. There's like this beam of light that smashes it, which is like Creature's like, oh, wasn't expecting that. As we see that Shinzo and Momo have actually arrived, and he's like, and Momo's like, I'm sorry we took so long, Fruitspa. Come on, let's go. And Fruitspa almost like, again, just like with a puppet, it's like, okay, father. And Karicho at this point is just getting really pissed off here. It's just like you've got the lines of just like the sheer intent killing aura of Karicho. It's like, what do you intend to do? What did you do to them? And what do you intend to do to them? And Momo just like in his like just subtly creepy voice of just like, I don't know whether I should do an Aizen impression for Momo or just like a Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. Like, you know what, I'm gonna do the Aizen like, don't be mad, Karicho. I'm their father. I haven't done anything cruel at all. It's just that I had such a great time getting you to understand how much I love you. You see what I mean about Momo saying stuff like that and Karicho saying stuff like that? Like, ugh, just like makes me, just sends a shiver down his spine when you really think about it like that. Like Karicho, despite the fact that he despises his father, saying stuff that his father says. But anyway, let's go back to the chapter. It's like, that if your words weren't enough, I decide I make you all love me. So yeah, Momo basically being like, oh, so my words weren't enough for you? Okay, I guess I have to make you love me. Or should I say, force you to love me? Because this is basically what he's doing, he's forcing his love on him, but at the same time getting his twisted head, the fact like, this is true love, we're truly a family. Over a pile of corpses. He goes on to say 2 is all I can manage right now. So yeah, we know an upper limit, but at the same time he is making the therapy and like, yeah, 2 is all I can manage now, but I am coming back for every one of you. And Shinzo is just like, hurry, hang around too long and they'll catch up. As sure enough we see Alex and Tayo just bursting in and just being like, okay, Momo, if you move, we're gonna stun you, do something to you right now, as everyone is just preparing to take down Momo and get Shinzo and Futaba back, as though like, oh, Futaba, get back to normal. And Futaba's like, oh, what are you talking about, Shuro? I am normal. And Alex is obviously talking to Shinzo by saying like, oh, your natural hair color is so much you, Shin. And Shinzo is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Ryu. And Tayo's like, okay, Karicho, you know what to do. And like, yeah, and Karicho's like, yes, Tayo, I know, shut up. Before you have a chance to tear any of us further apart, I'll tear you apart, father. And this is where Momo reveals what he has been hiding from them. He's like, oh, you seem to have forgotten something. The bomb was neither a bluff nor an empty threat, because Momo, I honestly thought that it was going to be a bluff. It was going to be a bluff and a decoy. And it was going to be a dud. But Momo being, as he calls it, like a man who keeps his word. Because Yeah, looking back now, yeah, he has been keeping his word of like, yeah, you'll see me again. We're all gonna be a family again, and yeah, he is keeping his word. So yeah, it wasn't a bomb, it wasn't a bluff or an empty threat. He was planning to blow up the Spy Association because he feared like, oh, if they get in our way, I'll blow them to cinders, as he basically demonstrated by using the bomb that they had, that Koricho and Kai were able to morph into a smaller condensed version. He's able to use this to just create this white light, which Koricho is able to help everyone defend against by using the steel spider in order to contain it. But at the same time, this gives Momo a chance to escape with Shinso and Futaba, and Kai is thankful for that Creature was able to get the HQ out relatively unscathed, and Creature explains that, oh, I've just contained the energy, it's not gone, we'll have to dispose of this this later. So he's basically condensed it right down to a controlled version in its steel spider, which has been made into like basically a giant rubber band ball, for lack of a better word. But yeah, they know it's like, oh, Momo got away with Shinzo and Futaba, and Ryu and Shura are just like, oh, if you need to fence Shura, I'll be happy to spar with you. And Shura's like, okay, I'm okay about this. And this is when Tyler's like, oh, what do we do now? We've lost two of our strongest combatants. So that always like, oh, what do we do? Is the Yozakura family going to be expelled from the whole Spy Association because of what Momo's done? The fact that Momo was able to take control of Futaba and Shinso, that might actually go against them. But Creature's like, yeah, I am having none of this right now. And he's like, come on, Tyler, we're going away. But everyone is just assuming like, oh, Creature's going to take matters into his own hands. But he's like, yeah, I know. I don't want to go. I haven't forgotten the penalties that await me should I act alone again. I won't make the same mistake twice. Because, and I bet he's thinking that like, I really don't want to go through playing the baby to eye again. That's probably the one he is fearing the most out of all of them, because yeah, that is something like someone as dignified and serious as Koricho. Yeah, we must never speak about this ever again. But yeah, he's already informed everyone of what's going on. So he's like, right, we are having an emergency family meeting right now when we get back. And if he takes family members, then the family will take them back. It is that simple. As we get just serious facial reactions from all the other family members, including Mutsumi. And that's the end of the chapter. So really, not much to go off on this chapter. It was just basically like following up from what happened in last chapter, finding out like, oh, this is not really mind control, even though it kind of is, but it working a little bit differently, kind of like puppetry. And basically Momo escaping for the 50 billionth time, which again, like I said, some people might find annoying, but personally I'm liking how long it's actually taken to take Momo down. And really, if people can stand how long it took Kaido from One Piece to go down, I think people can be alright with how long it's taken for Momo to go down. And at the same time, it's like with Aizen, how long it took Aizen to go down. With other villains, I could probably name 1,000 off the top of my head right now, but I really don't have the time. So yeah, be patient with you guys. Like, I can kind of get why people are maybe thinking like, oh, this is taking too long, because Michio's Yozakura family pretty much goes for a Black Clover style of pace, in the sense that we're always moving along, always at a very fast pace. So the fact that it's taking this long with Momo is, I'd say, it's a bit jarring for some people, and I can kind of see why they would say that. But at the same time, like I said, I'm really enjoying how long it's taking, and like I said, it might lead to Mutsumi being actually taken by Momo himself, and it might be a reflection of what happened at the beginning of the series, where you get a recap of that, you get a redo of that panel with Mutsumi being carried out of the flames, and it might be the case of like, I might get threatened, and Mutsumi might get blackmailed by Momo because of it. So yeah, that's what I'm predicting. Like Momo will use Ai as bait to lure Mutsumi to him, and once he gets Mutsumi, then I think it's going to be game over at that point, particularly for Koricho and Taya. So, oh, let's pray that doesn't happen, and let's pray that Koricho's not under Momo's control at this point. Because for what he was, some of the things that he was saying in this chapter, while it's in character, it's kind of like weird considering that we're dealing with Momo. But that's just gonna have to be something we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.